Hey everyone, welcome back to The Modest Wallet. I'm Sean and I'm here to make money simple. Today we're going to be talking about 9 ways to invest in real estate. Investing in real estate is a great asset class to really diversify your portfolio and build wealth over the long term.
Long term.
Not only that, but it does allow you to make money in 2 different ways. First, there's the appreciation, or when the value of your property goes up, as well as the rental income that you receive. Real estate for me is something that I am really interested in, and I'm actually invested in real estate in 2 of the 9 ways we're going to be talking about today. Drop us a comment below with what you think I am invested in regards to real estate. And also let us know which of these 9 you're invested in.
I invested in you.
Getting started in real estate is really a lot easier than you might think.
Easy, very easy.
You don't need thousands of dollars to get started. Enough about that, let's get started on these 9 ways to start investing in real estate. First on our list are real estate investment trusts, otherwise known as REITs. Using REITs as a way to start investing in real estate is probably the most easiest way to get started. We also have a really in-depth page devoted to how to invest into REITs, so I will leave a link in the description for you to definitely check that out. In its most basic form, REITs can be described as a vehicle through which investors can participate in large projects that involve the development, acquisition, or administration of a group of real estate properties. Most REITs are publicly traded companies, which means that the investors can easily purchase a fraction of the entity that holds the properties through a traditional stock exchange. To be considered a REIT, the holding company must have a long-term investment horizon. At least 90% of its taxable income must be distributed to investors, and a minimum of 75% of its assets must be invested into real estate. This is definitely a major reason why so many people invest in REITs, because of the consistent income that they provide. Not financial advice, but I will share 3 popular REITs that are available and traded on the stock market. There are many others, so definitely do your own research. Second on our list of ways to invest in real estate is through real estate crowdfunding. There are a ton of other platforms out there in regards to real estate crowdfunding, but Fundrise, CrowdStreet, Realty Mogul, and Diversify Fund are a few of the more popular platforms that stand out from the rest. Crowdfunding is somewhat similar to REITs in that you are investing in fractions of properties with many other investors. Let's take a glance at an example of how these crowdfunding sites work. Let's say that the platform has a multi-family complex that it plans to buy at a value of $10 million. Of this figure, the platform has secured funding for the $8.5 million from private investors. This means that $1.5 million will be crowdfunded. You decide to inject $20,000 while the rest is made up by other crowdfunding investors. In theory, this means that you own $20,000 of the total multifamily complex, which again is worth $10 million. Although you also need to factor in the fees, your potential returns are directly correlated by the amount you invested. You would also be entitled to your share of any rental payments that your property attracts. In terms of the management of the properties in question, this is usually taken care of by the crowdfunding platform itself, which will attract additional fees. The main attraction of choosing this real estate investment method is that you can typically get started with really any amount of money. In regards to sites like Fundrise, CrowdStreet, Diversify Fund, Realty Mogul, each platform will specialize in a specific niche of the real estate arena, so do your own research before you start investing. Another really interesting way you can invest in real estate is through farmland investing. You can do this through sites like Farm Together and AcreTrader. When learning how to invest in real estate for the first time, you will likely focus on traditional properties that might include residential homes, shopping malls, commercial offices, and healthcare facilities. A different option might include farmland investing. This simply means that you will be investing in capital into the US-based farmland. Much like any other real estate investment, this allows you to grow your capital in several ways. First, the invested farmland can be leased to farmers that use the plot for commercial purposes like growing crops. Also, the land itself has intrinsic value, So that value can ultimately grow over time. If the land is sold at a higher market rate, this will allow you to enjoy growth through something called capital gains. Next on our list of ways to invest in real estate is through rental properties. Investing in rental properties can be a great way to make extra monthly income, especially if you can find a deal and have some basic skills to be able to maintain your property or properties. Many investors will purchase a property by first obtaining a mortgage and then rent the home to a tenant. If done correctly, this allows you to repay your mortgage with the rental payments you receive. You do, however, need to think about the management of your rental properties, as this can somewhat be hands-on. That might include tasks like vetting tenants, drawing up contracts, collecting rental payments, and arranging for maintenance when needed. With this in mind, many rental property investors will utilize the services of an agent who, for a fee, will take care of those tasks. There is a site called Roofstock that allows you to essentially be a landlord without having to deal with the day-to-day potential headaches of managing the properties. This platform is home to a sizable number of pre-vetted single-family rental properties, so definitely check that out and do your own research. Fifth on our list of ways to invest in real estate is through flipping real estate. Like I mentioned before, finding a good deal is half the battle, but you can make some quick cash if you have skills or a good network to flip houses that may need a little work done to them. Generally, there are two ways that you can approach real estate flipping. First is to buy a property and sell it straight as is for profit. Alternatively, some flippers will look to pay for renovations with the view of increasing the sale value of the property. Either way, real estate flipping can be a good short-term strategy, but you do need to know what you're doing. After all, you'll be in full control of the end-to-end process, which can be daunting if you are a beginner. Best way to get started in this is to talk to someone who's done it before. The sixth way to invest in real estate is to invest through real estate mutual funds. Both real estate mutual funds and REITs are professionally managed by the respective fund, which paves the way for a diversified and passive real estate investment journey. The main difference is that the real estate mutual funds are slightly more flexible in the assets they invest in. For example, the fund might elect to invest in a collection of individual REITs, as well as stocks of companies that are actively involved in real estate. The value of your investment is largely dictated by the NAV of the real estate mutual fund, and you will still be entitled to your share of rental payments. This comes in the form of dividends, which is either paid on a monthly or quarterly basis. Some of the most popular real estate mutual funds listed in the US include PGIM Select Real Estate A, or ticker symbol SREAX, or Dunham Real Estate Stock Fund, ticker symbol DCREX. This is not financial advice, so definitely do your own real estate mutual fund research. Another way to invest in real estate is through real estate investment groups. Real estate investment groups, otherwise known as REIGs, are companies that focus the vast majority of their business operations on generating gains from real estate. More specifically, if you wish to own a property or a group of properties, but you don't have the time to manage the real estate yourself, you might consider joining a REIG. This allows you to invest in your chosen property while allowing the REIG to take control of tasks surrounding tenants, maintenance, and rental payments. In turn, the REIG will take a share of your income you generate from the respective properties. The specific fee will vary depending on the provider. Real estate investment groups don't qualify as REITs and are not subject to any specific limitations or disclosures. Real estate limited partnerships are our eighth way to invest in real estate. Put simply, a RELP will see multiple investors pool money together to purchase or develop real estate. In particular, this method is often used when the real estate project in question is considered large. Investment returns from a RELP are proportionate to the amount of capital injected, and most agreements will have a general partner. This partner is the person or company that is responsible for managing the RELP. They will deal with tasks surrounding property due diligence, financing, negotiations, and rental agreements. The general partner will, of course, charge a fee for this, which will come from any profits made by the RELP. Last but certainly not least, you can invest in real estate through short-term vacation rentals. This particular real estate investment option doesn't need much explaining. The main difference is that instead of renting your property out long-term tenants, you will target the short-term vacation niche. This means that you might rent out your property for several days or weeks, but rarely months. This strategy comes with its pros and cons. Regarding the positives, you can generally charge a much higher rate when renting your property out via short term. In turn, this can generate a more attractive yield on your investment. However, you do need to consider that there is no guarantee that you will fill the property. Each day that the property remains empty translates into losses. Additionally, you never quite know what you're getting with a short-term vacation rental. Unlike renting to a long-term tenant, you will unlikely have the opportunity to vet the tenant in question. Nonetheless, if short-term rentals are something that interests you, there isn't a better platform than Airbnb for this purpose. Although the platform does take a commission on any rentals it puts your way, your property will have exposure to a global audience that now consists of millions of registered users. As we review those 9 ways of investing in real estate, I just want to elaborate on a few major pros or benefits to investing in real estate and hopefully give you a better idea why so many people have a large portion of their portfolio in real estate. First is long-term appreciation. Put simply, it refers to the process of the property increasing its market value. Next is regular income. This comes in the form of rental payments that the respective tenant pays to use the property. Then there's leverage. It's possible to purchase a property with a small down payment. Another benefit is diversification from other markets. This ensures that you are not overexposed to a single market. Then there's the low barrier to entry. In a time not so long ago, the only way to invest in real estate was to purchase a property outright. This either required a large amount of capital or a long-term mortgage agreement. If you fast forward to 2021, it is now possible to gain exposure to the real estate industry with a small amount of money. This is possible through several investment vehicles such as REITs, real estate mutual funds, and even crowdfunding. As with almost all investing, there are some cons to investing in real estate. Investing in real estate is illiquid. This means that the asset is not easily converted into cash. After all, if you own a property and wish to sell it, the process can take many, many months. The next con is real estate diversification is not simple. For example, in the traditional equity space, you can now diversify across hundreds of stocks through a small investment of just a couple of dollars. And while possible, it's not as easy with real estate. Another con is management. If you decide to invest in real estate by purchasing a property outright or take out a buy to let mortgage, you need to think about the time requirements of managing the assets. If you found value in this video, you should definitely click that like button on the screen. Believe it or not, that does help the channel out immensely. If you aren't already subscribed, click the subscribe button on your screen so that when we do release other videos, it will be easier for you to find them. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.